I am so excited because we're finally getting data around AI implementations, and I came across, thanks to Caitlin on my team, this wonderful study by MIT around how are we doing with our AI implementations and what can we learn from those implementations thus far. So grab your favorite drink, let's kick back and let's talk about it. All right, AI adoption. What are we doing? How is it going? What is the state of the union? This MIT report was very insightful, and I think we can apply it to procurement and other areas of the business that are where we're looking to deploy. We're hearing that budgets are up in procurement, at least for procurement technology. They're going to be up around 6 to 7% in the coming year. And the vast majority of those investments are going to be in AI-related tools. So are we getting our returns, though? That is the question. The MIT study said 95% of organizations are getting 0% return on their AI implementations and pilot programs. Now, here's why. There's those 95%, they're getting actually high adoption, but a very low ROI related tool sets. Generic tools like Chat, Grok, all of those, they're getting widely used by the population. According to the study, 80% of the people surveyed have explored using those tool sets. 40% of them have deployed them with high adoption rates. However, when it comes to custom enterprise AI tools that organizations are building internally themselves using their own data, there is an extremely high failure rate around those. Only 5% actually have reached production thus far, even though many people are trying to build those. And the pilots around those tool sets, they are slow for actually getting success. The learning process of these tools actually takes quite longer than I think what people are expected. They are integrating poorly into organizations. There's struggle matching or understanding what your process might be internally so that your agentic AI applications that you're building internally are actually following the workflow that is intended. There's also an underlying issue with data. So as these custom enterprise solutions are learning, if the data is incorrect, you're going to have a very, very weak foundation. So while the tool might be great, if you're learning on bad data, it's going to be problematic. In fact, I was just having a conversation with my daughter last night. It was completely adjacent, but she was in a leadership class in school yesterday, and she had a real problem with what was being talked about. And they said, you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be consistent. And my daughter was like, no, she's a ballerina. She's like, that is wrong. Like if you practice the wrong over and over again, you're being consistent. Sorry, my dogs were just barking. If you're being consistently wrong in something, you're not going to improve, right? And you're actually potentially going to get worse. That's what's happening with some of these AI applications. If you're consistently wrong on the data, you are going to be teaching the wrong applications through that data in those AI tool sets. So it has been an interesting learning journey around these applications and where we are faltering. But there is good news. We're getting high adoption on those very generic tools, which is great. And I would say that the 5% that have been succeeding in these applications have received extreme ROI, the investment. So they're extracting millions from a value from their organizations when done well. So there is still a lot of potential there. We just have to learn from some of these early cases so that we can do it more effectively in the future. There's also some interesting things around, okay, so where are we finding really good success rates so far. So I talked a lot about building AI applications internally, which, it's great that we can do that now. We don't have to rely on external partnerships to get this done. You can build it internally, and for those 5%, you can get a very high ROI. Now, the early successes that we're seeing, though, are through external partnerships. In fact, they're twice as likely to succeed versus doing an internal build. So out of the 5% that did succeed, 67% of those were through an external partnership. So if you are looking to succeed in the AI space, at least right now, the stats from this study are indicating that you would have a more likely chance of returning an ROI if you use a third party that has built an application related to AI. Where are people seeing the greatest ROI in their businesses? Where to start with a AI application? And I think this is very interesting for the procurement folks and maybe the finance folks that are listening today. The highest ROIs often come from back office automation. So think about your day-to-day processes that are very transactional in nature. Years ago, probably a lot of the same processes that we would have put like RPA around, only you can now leverage the new kind of thinking and learning process through these AI applications to maybe take that a step further. So back office automation is a very logical place to start. That's where we're seeing the highest ROIs, at least the MIT study did. So that is a little bit about the study. I will drop a link to it down in the comments here in the notes, but some more detailed ROI examples, maybe business case examples to be thinking about. Front office, they're saying faster lead qualification, better customer retention is some of the areas that they're seeing. Back office, BPO contracts, been quite a bit of savings noted about can we automate these processes where we don't need a BPO, partnering with a BPO that is using agentic AI and has taught it so that we can reduce the amount of spend that we have on our BPO contracts. They're also seeing a pretty large reduction in marketing agency spend because of the insights and the different applications that can be used through AI in the marketing area. Bottom line, things are moving forward. I was really excited to see this study because, gosh, for so long we've been talking about AI in the theoretical, and now we actually have enough implementations where an organization like MIT can be doing a study related to what we've learned. If you are a organization that is looking, and I'm sure most of you are, you're looking at different AI applications, I would highly recommend reading this study in detail because it's going to be insightful around where do you start, where's the ROI, how might make a decision around make versus buy, and hopefully we'll see a lot more success stories from the learnings and the trials that we've been through over the last couple of years. So with that said, I am Amanda Prochaska. I love bringing this content to you, as if we can all learn together, we are going to accelerate the path forward for not only us, but the future generations behind us. And I founded Wonder Services over 6 years ago with the dream that I could help organizations be more successful in their digital journeys. This is one way we do it here on the channel. And if you need more information about what we do at Wonder Services, please reach out to me on LinkedIn or through our website at wonderservices.net. Until next time, cheers and have a great day.